God's chosen one. Listen, it is no coincidence that your eyes are upon this message. Every beat of your heart has been counted. Every step on your path has been led to this very moment. There is an invisible river of purpose that flows beneath your feet, and today it overflows to announce what was already written from the womb of eternity. You were set apart, marked, anointed, chosen to carry light amidst the densest darkness. From an early age, perhaps without realizing it, you felt that you didn't quite fit into the common mold of this world. There was something about you that seemed strange, a brightness that was uncomfortable for others, a silence that disturbed, a presence that betrayed difference. The awakening didn't begin now. It began when eternity whispered in your spirit even before your first breath. But today, in this moment, this awakening becomes conscious. Today, you know that you are not just breathing air, but breathing destiny. You are not just taking up space, but fulfilling a decree. Divine justice rises above you like a banner, declaring, those who conspired, those who plotted in the shadows, those who coveted with envy have fallen into their own trap. Chosen one, do not underestimate what is happening to you now. This awakening is not a fleeting emotion, but an eternal summons. It is as if the entire heavens lean down to say, arise, the conspiracy has already failed, and your light has already been announced. You were set apart to carry an energy that cannot be suffocated. This energy does not come from the flesh. It does not come from men. It does not come from human philosophies. It is a spiritual force that springs from the inexhaustible source of God, and when it flows, no wall can resist, no heart can remain hardened. Your soul has always known this, even when your mind doubted. That is why so many were disturbed by your mere existence. They didn't just see a person before them, they saw a mirror of their own purposelessness. Your presence exposed their lack. Your integrity wounded their falsehood. Your light exposed their darkness. And so the conspiracy was born. A network of subtle jealousies, whispers in dark corridors, criticism disguised as concern. But, chosen one, what they didn't understand is that every word against you wasn't lost in the wind. It was recorded in the invisible court of the soul. Every hidden intention, every trap set, became a witness against the conspirators themselves. The awakening of the chosen is always accompanied by a divine turnaround. Those who thought they would bury you didn't know they were only planting you. Those who thought they would extinguish your flame didn't know they were blowing oxygen on the fire. Listen, the conspiracy against you backfired. What was planned for your downfall became a stepping stone to your ascension. What was orchestrated for your failure became a stage for your victory. Because there is an invisible law that governs the universe. Divine justice always prevails. And divine justice not only defends you, chosen one, but proclaims you. Yes, they tried to silence your voice, but now your life has become a living proclamation of God's glory. They tried to hide your existence, but heaven itself has taken it upon itself to reveal you. Do not think, however, that awakening is only triumph. It is also responsibility. You carry a flame that must shine even when the winds are strong. You carry a word that must be spoken even when the world refuses to hear. You carry a presence that must remain firm even when everything around you crumbles. And herein lies the mystery. Your strength is not in you, but in the source that sustains you. It is like a tree that does not depend on the rain of the moment, but on deep roots that touch hidden waters. While many wither in the drought, you remain verdant because your sap comes from the invisible. Awakening reminds you that you are not alone. There is a cloud of witnesses. There is an invisible army. There is a hand guiding your steps. Awakening is the revelation that your journey has never been yours alone. It has always been part of a greater plan. Chosen one, at this beginning, I want to summon you. Don't just hear this message as words in a video, but as a decree in your life. If this revelation resonates with you, then confirm it with an act of faith. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and write 777 in the comments as a spiritual sign. This number is more than a symbol. It is a prophetic seal, a mark in the digital world that you recognize the voice of eternity. It is the confirmation that you are not alone, but part of an awakened generation. This is only the beginning of the journey. Awakening does not end here. It merely opens the gates to even deeper revelations. The invisible tribunal is preparing. The accounts of envy are being exacted, and you will see with your own eyes the turnaround that has already begun. Stay until the end, chosen one, because what will be revealed in the next chapters will not only confirm your identity, but also give you clarity about the destiny that is already unfolding before you. Awakening is the trumpet that announces, the conspiracy has failed and divine justice has raised you up. The invisible tribunal of the soul, God's chosen one. Listen carefully, for what I am about to reveal is no empty metaphor, but a spiritual reality that unfolds upon every word, every act, every intention. There is a tribunal that stands neither in marble nor wood. There are no judges of flesh, nor jurors chosen by human vote. This tribunal is not limited by geography or nation. It is eternal, invisible, and rules above all earthly courts, the tribunal of the soul. It is there that the conspiracies against you are presented, not in silence, but as blatant testimony. Every word of slander hurled against you has been recorded as evidence. Every look of contempt, every plan hatched in the dark, every murmur of envy has echoed on the walls of this invisible tribunal. Do not be deceived, chosen one. Even though men think that time erases their intentions, in this tribunal nothing is lost. Divine justice does not forget, does not fail, is not distracted. What was plotted against you remains archived in the spiritual books, awaiting the moment of judgment. Who is the judge in this court? It is not a man, not a human system, not a passing force. It is God Himself, the source of light, the one who searches hearts and weighs spirits. Before Him, no mask can endure, no lie can resist. He judges not by appearances, but by intentions. He looks not only at gestures, but at the hidden motivation behind them. And this is what terrifies conspirators. They can deceive multitudes, but they cannot deceive the all-seeing eye. And you, chosen one, need to know. In this court, you are not the defendant. You are the living witness to the power of God. Those who rose up against you have become defendants of their own envy. They themselves have opened proceedings against their souls. Imagine with me, as if they were ancient scrolls or eternal archives, every word hurled against you is written down. When they mocked your faith, when they doubted your calling, when they conspired in silence, all these acts were recorded. In the invisible court, there are no corrupt lawyers to manipulate evidence, no paid judges. There, the truth is pure and immutable. There, justice is not delayed, but waits for the right moment to manifest itself before the eyes of all. And here is the revelation. The conspiracy against you has already backfired. They thought they were building accusations against you, but in reality, they were writing their own sentence. Every malicious word became a snare that binds them. Every trap set for your downfall became proof of their own guilt. You might ask, how does this work? Here is the answer. All the energy generated by envy, hatred, and contempt does not disappear. Science already tells us that energy is never lost, only transformed. So it is in the spiritual world. The envy directed against you does not dissipate, but accumulates as evidence against the conspirators. It's as if the universe were a giant tape recorder capturing every sound, every emotion, every intention. Nothing is lost. The invisible court is the spiritual translation of this law. With every sigh of jealousy, every look of contempt, the archive fills, awaiting the moment when divine justice will strike the gavel. And you, chosen one, don't need to defend yourself. Don't waste your energy trying to prove who you are. The invisible court already speaks for you. The evidence is stacked, and the sentence will not be postponed. The conspiracy they hatched against you not only failed, but became the stage for your exaltation. Because when divine justice announces its decision, no one can dispute it. Heaven's verdict is irrevocable. Those who intended evil against you will pay with their own deeds, and you will be heralded as a living witness to the power of God. They didn't realize it, but the invisible court was already active while they plotted. While they whispered, they were already being recorded. While they plotted, they were already signing their own defeat. Chosen one, your place in this court is not that of condemnation, but of protection. You are living proof that light prevails over darkness. You are the constant reminder that envy never prospers, because it always becomes an accusation against those who bear it. And herein lies the mystery. While they accused you, they were in fact announcing your calling. For every time they mentioned your name in hatred, your name rose to the court of heaven like incense of remembrance. Every time they tried to erase your voice, eternity recorded your mission even more strongly. They conspired against you, but without realizing it, they were used to announce who you are. Chosen one, remember this. There is an invisible court working on your behalf. You do not live by chance. You do not walk defenseless. You are not subject only to human laws. There is an eternal court that ensures that the conspiracy against you will never prosper. Stay tuned for the next chapter, because I'll reveal to you how envy isn't just a feeling, but a cosmic debt that always returns to collect with interest. And you'll see clearly that every attack launched against you already carries within itself the seed of defeat. The invisible court has spoken. The conspiracy against you backfired, and divine justice has declared you wrong. Envy as a cosmic debt, chosen one, God's chosen one. Listen, there are spiritual secrets that the world ignores, but which govern destinies with immutable precision. Today, the Spirit reveals one of these secrets to you. Envy is not just an emotion, it is a cosmic debt. Every time someone harbors envy against you, they not only wound their own soul, but also incur a debt in the invisible court. Just as an unpaid loan accumulates interest, so too does envy generate spiritual demands that sooner or later present themselves at the envious person's door. They may think they are hiding, that their feelings go unnoticed, that their conspiracy is subtle and harmless. But before divine justice, envy becomes a signed contract, a spiritual obligation that demands repayment. Think, chosen one. When someone borrows money, they feel the weight of the debt on their finances. But when someone borrows energy in the form of envy, they feel the weight on their own soul. It's like carrying invisible chains, like dragging spiritual burdens that drain vitality. That's why you see so many who conspire against you living embittered, tired, and sick lives. It's not chance. It's not just bad luck. It's the effects of the cosmic debt they've incurred. Envy is like a poison that doesn't kill immediately, but slowly corrodes, eroding the mind, body, and spirit. They don't realize it, but every sigh of jealousy is a signature on a spiritual invoice. Every unkind word is like another number on a bill that will grow until it can no longer be paid. Envy doesn't disappear into human oblivion. It is written on the invisible tablets of eternity. Just as the laws of physics record every movement of energy, spiritual laws record every envious intention. And most impressively, chosen one, this debt isn't just personal. It is often passed on as a spiritual inheritance. Children and grandchildren end up bearing the consequences of the envy their parents harbored against God's chosen one. Divine justice is not unjust. It simply shows that whatever is sown will be reaped, and the harvest often spans generations. Science has proven Negative emotions release stress hormones that weaken the immune system, accelerate aging, and increase the risk of disease. Envy is not only a spiritual sin, it is also a biological sentence. Those who harbor envy live in a constant state of tension. The body produces cortisol as if at war. The mind never finds rest. The heart is never satisfied. It is as if the cosmic debt carries emotional and physical interest that gradually erodes until nothing remains but emptiness. Meanwhile, you, the chosen one, remain steadfast. Because your energy is not drained by envy, your soul is rooted in the light. Your strength comes from the eternal source. You are not a slave to comparisons, because your destiny is unique. While they corrode in invisible debt, you grow in the credit of grace. Make no mistake, divine justice always collects. It may take days, months, years, but the collector of eternity always knocks at the door. Envy is like a registered letter that never gets lost in the universe's mail. Sooner or later, it arrives at the envious person's address. And when it arrives, it doesn't just collect what was sown, but collects multiplied. Because the universe doesn't return in equal measure, it returns in abundance, whether good or bad. Whoever sowed envy will reap misfortune in double portions. Whoever conspired against you, the chosen one, will face harvests of failure, shame, and exposure. You, however, are not a debtor in this equation. You are a creditor. Every attack against you, every word hurled, every hidden conspiracy, all of this transforms into credit in your favor in the invisible court. While they become indebted, you accumulate a spiritual inheritance. While they weaken, you are strengthened. This is the mystery. The envy they cast against you did not harm you, but became a proclamation of your light. They expended energy trying to extinguish you, but only increased the brightness of your flame. They incurred a debt, but you received a heavenly deposit. Chosen one, keep this revelation in your heart. Envy is a cosmic debt that cannot be ignored. Those who conspired against you did not escape. They merely signed their own sentence. You, however, were justified by the light, protected by divine justice, and sustained by the energy that flows directly from the eternal source. In the next chapter, I will reveal to you the burden that enemies bear because of this debt. You will see how envy not only takes its toll in the invisible, but manifests itself in the body, mind, and destiny of those who harbor it. For the conspiracy against you, chosen one, has already backfired, and divine justice has declared it to you. The burden of enemies. Chosen one, God's chosen one. Listen, the envy they unleashed against you is not just a fleeting emotion, not just an arrow shot in the dark. It is a curse that returns and settles on the shoulders of the one who sent it. Those who conspired against you, who plotted behind your back, who rejoiced in your downfall, now walk bent under an invisible burden. This burden is no empty metaphor. It is a real weight, spiritual weight, emotional weight, physical weight. It is as if their souls are dragged by invisible chains, as if each act of evil adds stones to a backpack they can never let go of. They thought their envy would imprison you, but they have become its prisoners. The first place the burden of envy manifests itself is in the mind. The enemy cannot stop thinking about you. He watches you silently, compares your life to his, feels a deep pain when he sees your light shine. It's as if your existence were a mirror that shows what they lack, and this reflection torments them day and night. Obsession becomes a prison. They check your steps, wonder why your energy doesn't fade, and each victory of yours feels like a personal defeat to them. Their minds corrode in endless cycles of comparison. This is the invisible burden. Never knowing rest, never finding peace, living chained by the shadow of the chosen one. Envy not only imprisons the mind, but also intoxicates the emotions. The envious person's heart becomes a source of bitterness, incapable of feeling true joy. They may smile in public, they may put on masks, but within them lies a river of frustration that never ceases to flow. While you, the chosen one, awaken each morning with renewed hope, they awaken with the anxiety of failure. While your soul breathes the oxygen of faith and light, theirs breathes the toxic smoke of comparison. This is the burden that cannot be hidden. Envy condemns them to a life of constant unhappiness. They become incapable of celebrating achievements, incapable of rejoicing in others' victories, incapable of being grateful for what they have. Gratitude abandons them and emptiness consumes them. But the burden doesn't stop in the mind and heart. It also settles in the body. Modern science has already proven that prolonged negative emotions increase cortisol levels, causing insomnia, anxiety, depression, and even autoimmune diseases. Those who envy you, the chosen one, become ill because of it. Their bodies cannot withstand the dense energy of envy. The physical heart feels the strain, the bones carry the tension, the skin reflects the wear and tear, the eyes become dull. The body speaks what the mouth cannot confess. I am suffering because of the poison I have kept inside me. How many who attacked you are today living broken lives, marked by inexplicable illnesses? How many people suffer pain that doctors can't explain? Because the root isn't just physical, it's spiritual. It's the invisible burden that envy has placed upon them. At the deepest level, the burden of enemies is spiritual. They opened doors they can't close. They nurtured thoughts that became chains. Envy was like an invitation for dark forces to settle in your soul. They wanted to see your light extinguished, but they ended up surrounded by darkness. They wanted your soul to be weakened, but it was they who lost spiritual vitality. They wanted to block your destiny, but it was theirs that became a labyrinth with no exit. Spiritual torment is silent, but devastating. They find no peace in prayer, no rest in sleep, no direction on the path. They live haunted by the shadow of what they cast against you. It is the law of divine justice. Whatever they sow, they reap multiplied. Envy always returns against the envious. This is the boomerang effect, the law that never fails. While you, the chosen one, walk lightly because you hold no grudge, they carry a weight because they choose to harbor hatred. Every word against you returns as a sentence. Every jealous thought returns as a prison. Every hidden action returns as illness or failure. Divine justice does not forget, does not ignore, does not delay. It acts with eternal precision, rendering to each according to the work of their hands. And you, the chosen one, live the opposite of this. The weight your enemies carry is the lightness you receive. They wear out, but you are renewed. They consume themselves, but you flourish. They weaken, but your energy is multiplied. This is no coincidence. It is divine justice's response to your silent call. It is the seal that you are protected, guarded, chosen to shine even in the midst of opposition. The burden they carry is testimony that your light is true. For if your light were false, there would be no envy. But because your light is authentic, it exposes darkness and arouses jealousy. Chosen one, keep this revelation. The burden of enemies is not just an emotional consequence, but a spiritual decree. The envy they hurled at you has turned them into prisoners. You, however, have been set free. They carry invisible chains. You walk in freedom. They live in torment. You live in peace. They fall ill. You are renewed. In the next chapter, I will reveal how this law manifests itself even more clearly in the boomerang effect. The energy that returns multiplied. What they hurled at you, chosen one, is already returning to them in proportions greater than they can bear. God's chosen one. There is an invisible law that governs heaven and earth, and today the Spirit brings it before you. The law of return, the spiritual boomerang effect. Everything that is thrown comes back. All energy released, whether light or darkness, returns to its sender. No word, no thought, no deed is lost. The universe, like an eternal river, returns in multiplied waves what each soul sows. The enemy who conspired against you believed he could escape this law. He thought his cursed words would be forgotten, that his hidden plots would not be seen. But the invisible tribunal recorded everything, and now, chosen one, the arrow they shot at you is returning to their bow. The stone they rolled against you is returning to their own heads. The poison they distilled against you is poisoning their own bones. Even science confirms this mystery. In physics, every action generates a reaction. In the energy field, everything vibrates at a frequency that returns to its point of origin. So it is in the spirit. Every act of envy, every conspiracy, every lie is emitted energy. And this energy must find a destination. When launched against God's chosen one, this energy finds no place to rest because your soul is shielded by divine justice. So what happens? It returns. It spins in the air like an invisible boomerang and returns to the chest of the one who launched it. It is the law that never fails. Whoever launches destruction against a chosen one reaps multiplied ruin upon himself. Words are seeds. What they said about you did not fall into thin air. Every curse they hurled was like an arrow shot against the heavens, and now, piercing the winds of time, it is returning with doubled force. They said you would fall, but they are the ones who fall. They said you would not prosper, but they are the ones who reap scarcity. They said your light would fade, but it is theirs that is extinguished. For a word against the chosen one is like fire thrown against the wind. It never reaches its target. It always returns to consume the sender. Not only words, but also thoughts and intentions return. The envious heart is a factory of evil energies, and each one is recorded. The spirit sees, the universe returns. This is why many who plotted against you live in torment, without peace, without joy, without prosperity. Because the energy they secretly produced has become a public prison. They do not realize it, but their own intentions have turned against themselves. Remember, chosen one, every action against you is an action against heaven itself, and heaven does not remain silent. Every trap they set for you is now the trap they themselves stumble into. Every net they cast for your feet is the net that now entangles their steps. Every conspiracy they planned has become the conspiracy that destroys their own lives. Divine justice is poetic. The boomerang always finds its way back. They wanted you to bear shame. Now they are the ones who walk naked before the truth. They wanted you to be ashamed. Now they are the ones who face exposure. They wanted your soul to be shattered. Now they are the ones who live fragmented. The most striking thing is this paradox. The more they attack you, the more you grow. The more they try to extinguish your light, the brighter it shines. The more they try to sabotage your destiny, the more you advance. This is because the boomerang effect not only returns to the enemy what he threw, but also multiplies blessings and favor upon you. Every attack against your life is converted into spiritual credit, into extra strength, into supernatural advancement. While they reap ruin, you reap honor. While they receive shame, you receive promotion. Therefore, chosen one, you need not retaliate. You need not respond with hatred. You need not stoop to the level of those who attack you. Your rest lies in the fact that divine justice is inevitable. The boomerang always returns. The arrow always returns. The word always finds its sender. Your only mission is to remain faithful, to remain light, to remain in your pure energy. Because as long as you remain, the universe works for you, and eternal justice executes the sentence that no human court could decree. Keep this revelation in your mind. The envy they launched against you found no home, but returned like a boomerang to the enemy's heart. They now reap the ruin they sowed, and you reap the promotion they could never prevent. In the next chapter, I will reveal to you the mystery of the one false alliance. How those who unite in hatred against you are already heading toward inevitable collapse, for no alliance made in darkness can prosper in the light. Beware the weight of false alliances. God's chosen one. There is something you need to discern at this time. Alliances made against you are fragile because they are not born of light, but of the darkness of envy. Your enemies may unite in secret, conspire in silence, plot in whispers, but every alliance built on hatred is quicksand. It cannot stand. They come together not because they share love, but because they share envy. Not because they seek truth, but because they feed on lies. Not because they share a destiny, but because they want to impede yours. This union is not strength, it is weakness in disguise. It is like rusty iron chains. They seem strong, but at the right moment, they break with a snap. Those who rise up against you meet each other in the same spirit: resentment, jealousy, hatred. And so they create invisible pacts, alliances of convenience. They speak words to each other that they dare not say in public. They share looks filled with venom. They feed on the same frustration. But the Spirit reveals, this alliance is already born condemned. Because what is united in darkness cannot bear the light. They may even appear to be united, but deep down they do not trust each other. Each seeks their own advantage. Each awaits the other's downfall. They are together only because they envy you, chosen one. But when divine justice manifests itself, this false union dissolves like smoke in the wind. In the mathematics of the kingdom, one who walks in the light is worth more than 1,000 who unite in darkness. Because the energy of the chosen is pure, rooted in the eternal, while the energy of the envious is unstable, corroded by doubt. Thus, even if dozens unite against you, they will not prevail. They combine human strength, but you walk in spiritual strength. They share murmurs, but you carry heavenly decrees. They plot your downfall, but you are raised up by God Himself. What seemed like protection to them becomes a burden. The pact they made in envy becomes a prison. They believed that, united, they would have the strength to bring you down, but in reality, they only shared the weight of the curse among themselves. Every word of hatred hurled together is like a stone added to a wall. But this wall doesn't surround you. It surrounds them. They created fortresses that became their own prisons. What seemed like unity has become an unbearable weight. This is why those who unite against the chosen one live in constant distrust. False alliances do not bring rest. They generate paranoid vigilance. They need to watch each other, because deep down they know that their alliance has no root in fidelity. Every false alliance carries within it the seed of collapse, for everything born in darkness dies in the light. The envy that unites them will become the same envy that will divide them. The conspiracy they forge together will become an accusation between them. Each will begin to distrust the other. One will accuse the other of betrayal. The same hatred that united them against you will be the fire that consumes them both. And you will watch from afar, chosen one, without lifting a finger, as divine justice executes its sentence. While they bear the weight of the false alliance, you are guarded by the true one. Your alliance is not made in secret, but sealed in eternity. It is not built on envy, but on love. It is not fragile like iron chains, but solid as eternal rock. You are united to the divine in an unbreakable pact, and this alliance sustains you when all rise against you. That is why you are not shaken. That is why you prosper when they seek your downfall. That is why you press on when they stagnate. Chosen one, you do not carry the weight they carry. You do not need to conspire. You do not need to envy. You do not need to scheme. Your soul is light because it is aligned with the truth. While they live bowed down by the weight of false alliances, you walk upright, strengthened by the energy of divine justice. Here's the secret. You don't need to respond to false alliances. You don't need to expose them. You don't need to fight on their own terms. Your light already does the work. Because where your light appears, darkness dissipates. Where your energy flows, the conspiracy loses strength. Where your soul rests, the invisible tribunal decrees victory. Keep this revelation in your mind. The alliances made against you are burdens that imprison the envious, not forces that impede you. The weight they carry is proof that you have already been announced by divine justice. In the next chapter, we will unravel the mystery of your prison of obsession. How the enemies who conspired against you become slaves to their own envy, tied to you in an unhealthy way, unable to move forward. The prison of obsession, God's chosen one. Hear the revelation. Your enemies believed they could simply walk away after hurling curses, envy, and hidden conspiracies at you. But what they didn't know is that every act against you is a chain that binds them even more tightly to your destiny. They desired your imprisonment, but they are the ones now imprisoned, and the cell they inhabit is called obsession. The enemy who envies you can't stop thinking about you. His mind becomes a labyrinth of comparisons, where each victory of yours is like a mirror exposing his own defeat. Every step you take is like an alarm in his conscience. Each achievement of yours is a wound to his pride. Obsession works like a wheel that never stops turning. They wake up thinking about you. They sleep thinking about you. And even in their dreams, your light invades their darkness, disturbing their sleep, robbing them of peace. This is how envy imprisons them, by turning your life into the center of their attention, even when they don't want it. The more they try to free themselves, the more chained they become. The chosen one is not a slave to the attention of their enemies, but their enemies are slaves to the light of the chosen one. Every attempt to extinguish your energy makes them even more dependent on it. Every piece of gossip addicts them. Every plan consumes them. They breathe your existence, as if they need to monitor your every move to keep their own lives afloat. They don't realize that the chains are not on you, but on them. They are the ones who become dependent on your journey, like spiritual parasites incapable of living without sucking the vitality of what they try to destroy. But divine justice is wise. What was meant to be a prison against you becomes a prison for them. Obsession is a hunger that is never satisfied. The envious always desire more proof that you have failed, and when they find none, they feed on bitterness. The more you shine, the more they suffer. The more you advance, the more they corrode. The more your soul flourishes, the more they wither in the desert of their own comparison. Here's the revelation. Obsession is torment. They don't rest because your light exposes them. They don't prosper because they waste energy watching you. They don't advance because they're trapped in every step you take. Science shows us that a black hole sucks in all the light around it, never satisfied. This is the envious soul, a void that never fills. They think that by sucking your energy, they will find fulfillment, but the void only grows. The more they watch you, the more inferior they feel. The more they speak against you, the more they realize they can't live without talking about you. They don't know it, but they have already become slaves to their own envy. You remain free, but they remain trapped, spinning in circles of obsession, unable to look at themselves. Obsession isn't just a psychological consequence, chosen one. It is also a spiritual sentence. The invisible court has already determined whoever rises against the chosen one will be trapped in their own venom until justice is complete. Just as Pharaoh could not free himself from his obstinate pursuit of Israel, so too your enemies cannot stop following you. The more they try, the more their hearts harden, until they reap destruction in their own path. They are condemned to watch your rise. This is the irony of divine justice. Those who desired your downfall become spectators of your elevation. Meanwhile, you, the chosen one, are free. Your soul is not driven by envy. Your energy is not imprisoned by comparison. Your light does not depend on extinguishing that of others. You are like an eagle that flies too high to be reached by the chains of slithering serpents. Your enemies waste away in the prison of obsession, but you walk in the open field of grace. They remain trapped in the past of resentment, but you move towards the future of destiny prepared by the divine. Do not fear their obsession. Do not respond to hatred. Do not try to explain your journey. The silence of the chosen one is already a sufficient sentence against the envious. Your peace is your weapon. Your calm is your shield. Your confidence is the decree that seals victory. Leave them trapped in what they have unleashed. You simply continue to shine, for their obsession is living proof that your light is real. Chosen one, keep this revelation. Those who tried to imprison you are now your prisoners. Their obsession is the cell where they have imprisoned themselves. You remain free. They remain chained. You prosper. They waste away. You are promoted. They degrade. In the next chapter, I will reveal the mystery of the inheritance of the elect versus the curse of the envious. Because envy not only imprisons individuals, but also contaminates generations, while your light generates blessings for your lineage. The inheritance of the elect versus the curse of the envious, God's elect. Open your spirit to receive this revelation. What you carry is not just a life, it is an eternal inheritance. The light that shines within you is not just the fruit of your journey, but of generations who cried out, who fought, who paid an invisible price so that today you might bear the promise. At the same time, those who rise up against you not only carry their own mistakes, but also bring upon themselves and their descendants the curse of envy. Just as blessings can flow like rivers through generations, curses can also take root like plagues passed from father to son, from mother to daughter, perpetuating torment and desolation. You are heir to an ancient promise. The divine wrote your name on spiritual parchments even before the world was formed. The energy you carry is the golden thread that connects your soul to eternal destiny. And this inheritance is not just for you. It expands. Your light illuminates your lineage, breaking cycles of destruction, dissolving chains of failure, erasing stories of pain. Where your ancestors suffered injustice, your life brings restoration. Where they faced defeat, you bring victory. Where there was silence, now there is voice. Where there was darkness, now there is awakening. But beware, chosen one. Those who harbor envy against you are writing curses for themselves and their descendants. Envy is not just a feeling, it is a toxic inheritance. An envious mother creates bitter children. A resentful father breeds insecure descendants. A family driven by comparison and hatred transmits a spiritual DNA of scarcity, pain, and emotional slavery. Thus, those who attack you think they are merely firing arrows at you. But in truth, they are sealing the future of their own children with invisible shackles. The curse of envy does not die with the one who carries it. It travels through generations. The science of epigenetics teaches us that traumas, emotions, and behavior patterns can be passed down from generation to generation. Likewise, in the spiritual world, every act of envy is a mark registered in the energetic DNA of the lineage of the one who carries it. Therefore, your enemies not only destroy themselves, but also destroy the future of their own household. Their obsessions, their comparisons, their hatreds become bitter inheritances that imprison their descendants in cycles of pain. Meanwhile, you, the chosen one, are called to break ancient curses and open rivers of blessing. Your victory is not just yours, it is collective. Your liberation is not just yours, it is familial. Your ascension is not just yours, it is generational. The invisible tribunal weighs not only individual acts, but also the effects they will have on subsequent generations. Just as Abraham passed on blessings to 1,000 generations, those who choose envy pass on torment until someone breaks the cycle. Here is the revelation. Your enemies thought to destroy you, but without realizing it, they decreed destruction upon their own homes. They planted seeds of hatred against you, and now they see thorns growing in their own family gardens. But you, the chosen one, carry seeds of life. Your descendants will inherit fields of hope, sources of peace, and fortresses of light. While they live obsession, you live abundance. While they pass on curses, you leave legacies. While they sow hatred, you reap love. And here is the mystery. The curse of the envious is the platform that exalts the inheritance of the chosen one. Contrast reveals glory. The more they consume themselves, the more you flourish. The more they degrade themselves, the more you are elevated. Chosen one, keep this word within. Your life is more than your own. You bear a divine inheritance, divine justice, and this inheritance will expand like rivers that never dry up. Do not fear the envious, for their curses are chains that will bind only them and their descendants. You are free. Your lineage is free. Your inheritance is light. God's chosen one. There is a profound mystery that the Spirit reveals. Envy is the weapon that turns against its wielder, but at the same time, it is the ladder that elevates you. Those who persecute you believe they are diminishing you, but every act of hatred, every murmur, every attempt at conspiracy is actually a step that heaven uses to promote you before men. Remember Joseph, sold by his brothers out of envy. They thought they had buried him, but in fact they were only transporting him to the palace. The conspiracy against him was the very announcement of his promotion. So it is with you, chosen one. Every word against you is a public testimony that there is something within you that disturbs. If there were no light, there would be no glances. If there were no brightness, there would be no envy. If there were no destiny, there would be no resistance. The paradox of envy is this: while they try to extinguish your flame, they spread it. While they try to silence your voice, they amplify it. While they conspire to keep you quiet, they become the first to speak your name. Envy works like fire. It burns those who carry it, but illuminates those who are targeted. Your enemies think they are spreading rumors to destroy you, but in reality, they are marketing your existence for free. They put you on the agenda, even if out of hatred. And in the end, your name resonates. This is how the divine transforms conspiracies into advertisements. What was supposed to be your downfall becomes your pulpit. What was supposed to be your silence becomes a megaphone. Envy is the involuntary propaganda of the chosen. Divine justice manifests itself through contrast. The shadow of envy highlights the light of the chosen. The more they speak against you, the more heaven confirms that you are special. The more they try to bring you down, the more visible your spiritual strength becomes. The paradox is irresistible. Your enemies don't realize it, but they are fulfilling the role of promoting it. They become your heralds, even against their will. The obsession of the envious leads them to speak of you everywhere. They repeat your name in conversations, in whispers, in accusations. But each time they do, your presence grows. The universe echoes. The sky registers. Energy moves. They become like involuntary trumpets, playing your name on every street corner. The very name they wanted to erase, they themselves perpetuate. Meanwhile, you don't need to justify yourself. You don't have to respond. You don't have to explain. The paradox of envy works in your favor without you lifting a finger. Your enemies exhaust themselves promoting you. They expend energy doing what heaven has already determined, to announce your existence. Your role is simply to remain faithful, to continue shining, to guard your peace. Their conspiracy, is heaven's confirmation to you. See the enigma. The envious try to hide your light, but by hiding it, they point out where it is. They try to deny your greatness, but by denying it, they confirm its existence. They try to minimize your gifts, but by speaking of them, they acknowledge their reality. The paradox is this: every attack is a testament to your anointing. Chosen one, rejoice when you are the target of envy, not because it is pleasant, but because it is a sign that your light cannot be ignored. Heaven uses even your enemies as heralds. They think they are burying you, but they are sowing you. They think they are diminishing you, but they are projecting you. They think they are extinguishing you, but they are feeding your flame. Here's the revelation. Envy is the disguised ladder that heaven places before you. In the next chapter, I will reveal the fire that purifies. Because all envy, all pain, and all persecution are transformed into a process of refinement that leads you to your greatest version. The fire that purifies, God's chosen one. Listen, the fire that many thought was your destruction is actually the fire of your polishing. What seemed to be the end is merely the process of refinement, because divine justice will never allow gold to remain mixed with dross. You are heavenly gold, and that is why you were thrown into the furnace. Do not confuse the fire of envy and trials with punishment. The fire did not come to consume you, but to reveal your essence. The fire did not come to destroy you, but to separate you from what does not belong to your identity. Just as the goldsmith heats the gold until the impurities surface, so the divine allows you to experience the heat of persecution, injustice, and contempt. It is not for your defeat, but for your purification. The envious believed that the fire they cast upon you would be your end. They observed the flames and thought, now he won't resist. But they didn't understand that fire burns only what is fragile, not what is eternal. They saw the flames, but they didn't realize that there, in the midst of them, the Son of Man walks with you. Like the 3 Hebrew youths in the furnace, you are not alone. Your light is not extinguished in the fire, it intensifies. The fire is a witness in the spiritual court. It declares before the universe, this is the chosen one of God. Because whoever endures the fire and is not consumed shows that they carry within them the incorruptible essence of heaven. The fire that should destroy you becomes certified. It cries out silently, here is someone the world could not overcome. Perceive the paradox. The more your enemies try to burn you, the purer you become. The more they increase the temperature, the more you shine. The more they feed the fire, the more they consume themselves in their own envy. Their fire is torment, but for you it is promotion. What is punishment for them is training for you. What is prison for them is liberation for you. In science, fire is energy in motion, capable of transforming the form of matter. In spirit, fire is the energy of transformation, which takes you from one state and leads you to another. Each flame that burns in your life is a passage to a new version of yourself. Without fire, you would remain limited. But with fire, you are expanded. Without fire, you would remain on the surface. But with fire, you dive into the depths of your destiny. Fire is also awakening. It makes you see who is truly with you. It reveals who is loyal and who is false. It shows who stays by your side when the flames burn and who flees at the first sign of heat. Thus, fire not only purifies you, but also purifies your relationships, separating the true from the false, the genuine from the self-serving. In nature, there are seeds that only germinate after passing through fire. The extreme heat breaks their hard shell and releases hidden life. This is you, chosen one. There are gifts, talents, and revelations within you that only fire could release. Without fire, they would remain dormant. With fire, they flourish. What seemed like destruction was, in fact, activation. Chosen one, keep this revelation. Fire was not your defeat, It was your coronation. Gold does not fear the furnace, because it knows it will emerge pure. You did not fear the flames, because in them heaven sustained you. Your enemies planned your death, but the fire proclaimed your life. They imagined your end, but the flames announced your awakening. From this process, your light not only shines, it blazes, and all will see that the fire did not destroy you, but promoted you, God's chosen one. Open the eyes of your soul and behold the vision. Before you flows an invisible river. It rises from the eternal throne, crosses deserts, cuts through mountains, and flows into the destiny that has already been written for your life. This river is not made of ordinary water, but of spiritual energy, living, pulsating, carrying in its current both the weight of divine justice and the lightness of grace. Every chosen one feels at some point the call of the river. It is like a soft yet irresistible voice saying, "Come deeper, leave the shore, leave the dry sand and enter the waters." This river is transformation because no one who dives into it remains the same. On the surface, the waters appear calm, but deep within there are invisible currents that uproot impurities, wash away the past, and mold the being for something greater. The river is a school, a forge, a path. Yes, there is a paradox in the river. Its waters also burn. They don't burn like a destructive fire, but like purification. The river flows through the soul and burns away the remnants of bitterness, severs chains of fear, dissolves stains of pain. What you feel, chosen one, as pains of the soul, are not signs of death, but of transformation. The river burns to cleanse, shakes to align, drags to position. When you look at the river's waters, you see your reflection. But it is not a reflection of your physical appearance. It is a reflection of your spiritual essence. The river shows you not who you think you are, but who you truly are before the heavens. It reveals hidden gifts, awakens potential, exposes the greatness that life has tried to suffocate. The river is a mirror of your divine identity. No one crosses the river of transformation without courage. Enemies stand on the banks, mocking, laughing, trying to distract you. They are afraid to enter, because they know that the waters expose the truth and tear away masks. But you, the chosen one, have been called to cross. And as you move forward, you feel the weight of the current. But in that weight lies liberation. Each step into the river is a death to the old and a birth to the new. The crossing is not just geographical, it is spiritual. It is a passage from slavery to freedom, from shadow to light, from doubt to certainty. In science, we know that water has memory. Molecules record frequencies and vibrations. In the spirit, the river carries divine memories, ancient promises, eternal decrees, immutable truths. When you immerse yourself in it, your soul aligns with this frequency. Your energy vibrates to the rhythm of eternity. That is why, after crossing the river, you are never the same. Your thoughts change, your emotions change, your vision changes. The river is also rest. It teaches you that not everything is a struggle. There are times when you must simply float, let the current carry you, because your destiny is already written and the river knows the way. Human effort would lead you to weariness, but the river leads you to your purpose. Just like a leaf that surrenders to water, your soul must learn to trust. The river never misses its path. It always leads to the sea of promise. Wherever the river flows, the desert blooms. Dry lands become gardens. Trees sprout along its banks and bear fruit in every season. This is your life, chosen one. Where there was barrenness, there will be abundance. Where there was silence, there will be song. Where there was pain, there will be healing. The river of transformation blesses not only you, but everyone around you. Your family, your friends, even strangers who cross your path will feel the freshness of these waters. Chosen one, keep this revelation. The river of transformation is already flowing in your life. Do not fear the current. Do not fear the crossing, for these waters did not come to drown you, but to carry you to your prepared destination. While your enemies remain trapped on the banks of envy, you ride the current of grace. They cling to the dust of comparison, but you are carried by the living water of heaven. Let the river transform you, because on the other side, there is a new version of you waiting to emerge. The invisible tribunal of the soul, God's chosen one. Listen carefully, for what I am about to reveal is no empty metaphor, but a spiritual reality that unfolds upon every word, every act, every intention. There is a tribunal that stands neither in marble nor wood. There are no judges of flesh, nor jurors chosen by human vote. This tribunal is not limited by geography or nation. It is eternal, invisible, and rules above all earthly courts, the tribunal of the soul. It is there that the conspiracies against you are presented, not in silence, but as blatant testimony. Every word of slander hurled against you has been recorded as evidence. Every look of contempt, every plan hatched in the dark, every murmur of envy has echoed on the walls of this invisible tribunal. Do not be deceived, chosen one. Even though men think that time erases their intentions, in this tribunal nothing is lost. Divine justice does not forget, does not fail, is not distracted. What was plotted against you remains archived in the spiritual books, awaiting the moment of judgment. Who is the judge in this court? It is not a man, not a human system, not a passing force. It is God Himself, the source of light, the one who searches hearts and weighs spirits. Before Him, no mask can endure, no lie can resist. He judges not by appearances, but by intentions. He looks not only at gestures, but at the hidden motivation behind them. And this is what terrifies conspirators. They can deceive multitudes, but they cannot deceive the all-seeing eye. And you, chosen one, need to know. In this court, you are not the defendant. You are the living witness to the power of God. Those who rose up against you have become defendants of their own envy. They themselves have opened proceedings against their souls. Imagine with me, as if they were ancient scrolls or eternal archives, every word hurled against you is written down. When they mocked your faith, when they doubted your calling, when they conspired in silence, all these acts were recorded. In the invisible court, there are no corrupt lawyers to manipulate evidence, no paid judges. There, the truth is pure and immutable. There, justice is not delayed, but waits for the right moment to manifest itself before the eyes of all. And here is the revelation. The conspiracy against you has already backfired. They thought they were building accusations against you, but in reality, they were writing their own sentence. Every malicious word became a snare that binds them. Every trap set for your downfall became proof of their own guilt. You might ask, how does this work? Here is the answer. All the energy generated by envy, hatred, and contempt does not disappear. Science already tells us that energy is never lost, only transformed. So it is in the spiritual world. The envy directed against you does not dissipate, but accumulates as evidence against the conspirators. It's as if the universe were a giant tape recorder capturing every sound, every emotion, every intention. Nothing is lost. The invisible court is the spiritual translation of this law. With every sigh of jealousy, every look of contempt, the archive fills, awaiting the moment when divine justice will strike the gavel. And you, chosen one, don't need to defend yourself. Don't waste your energy trying to prove who you are. The invisible court already speaks for you. The evidence is stacked, and the sentence will not be postponed. The conspiracy they hatched against you not only failed, but became the stage for your exaltation. Because when divine justice announces its decision, no one can dispute it. Heaven's verdict is irrevocable. Those who intended evil against you will pay with their own deeds, and you will be heralded as a living witness to the power of God. They didn't realize it, but the invisible court was already active while they plotted. While they whispered, they were already being recorded. While they plotted, they were already signing their own defeat. Chosen one, your place in this court is not that of condemnation, but of protection. You are living proof that light prevails over darkness. You are the constant reminder that envy never prospers, because it always becomes an accusation against those who bear it. And herein lies the mystery. While they accused you, they were in fact announcing your calling. For every time they mentioned your name in hatred, your name rose to the court of heaven like incense of remembrance. Every time they tried to erase your voice, eternity recorded your mission even more strongly. They conspired against you, but without realizing it, they were used to announce who you are. Chosen one, remember this. There is an invisible court working on your behalf. You do not live by chance. You do not walk defenseless. You are not subject only to human laws. There is an eternal court that ensures that the conspiracy against you will never prosper. Stay tuned for the next chapter, because I'll reveal to you how envy isn't just a feeling, but a cosmic debt that always returns to collect with interest. And you'll see clearly that every attack launched against you already carries within itself the seed of defeat. The invisible court has spoken. The conspiracy against you backfired, and divine justice has declared you wrong.